It's another beautiful day. I welcome each and every one of you to this gathering tonight. Your purpose of coming will not be in vain. I remain your lead consultant and human capacity developer. Before we go into the details of today, I would like us to do a little recap on what we have treated in our previous edition. Before we do that properly, I would like you to do me a favor. Wherever you are watching us all over the world, I would like you to subscribe to our channel, like our video, and share our work for others to benefit as well. Thank you for doing that. Then, in our previous edition, we talked about breaking the unemployment mindset, where we were made to understand unemployment is not only a condition of a country or a place. It is often a mindset of the people therein, where we cite an instance of two people in a particular environment that one may not see an opportunity while the other person will be busy creating multiple opportunity. That is human being in general. And we went further to explain understanding the unemployment mindset. After that, we went on to look at the root causes of such mindset. Then after, we were made to understand that shifting to an opportunity mindset will be a way to address the above challenges. Then we went further to look at value creation as the new employment strategy. Then we do not stop there. We proceed to look at something we call expanding the definition of work. That is, understand the definition of work beyond the office. Then we look at how you can take responsibility and initiative in addressing the above challenges. Then after that, we look at some area you need to build personal action, building a personal action plan. Building a personal action plan, very, very important, was the reason I am repeating it. Then after that, we look at some class activities. Then later, we brought it to an end by charging our youth that when you stop waiting and start creating value, then you move from being jobless to being opportunity driven. And that was where we brought it to an end. It was a mind-blowing topic, so I would like you to revisit it for more detail and learn more on that as well. Then today we are going to look at another powerful topic, a groundbreaking topic titled Mastery Interview, or Interview Mastery. Interview mastery. Positioning yourself as the only logical choice. Is somebody hearing me? Positioning yourself as the only logical choice. On that, what are we to expect? We want all our participants all over the world to understand the following. Understand what employers are truly looking for in an interview. That's one. Then another thing is position yourself as the best fit candidate, not just an available one. Okay? Then the next thing we shall be looking at there is communicate your value clearly and confidently. Then the next point is answer interview question with impact and relevance. With impact and relevance points. Am I communicating? Then The last point you should be expecting as well is stands out regardless of the number of quality of the competitors. Wherever they are, stands yourself out. That is the point I want you to know. Now, in moving into the details of today's topic, most candidates attend interview trying to impress their employer, failing to understand that employer are not looking for who to impress them. Rather, they are looking for who can solve their problem best. Okay? Now, interviews are won by being the most relevant candidate, not by being the most qualified one. On this aspect, I am a living example of it. Years back, when I attended an interview for the position of real estate manager. As at then, I had only 1 year experience in real estate, while my competitor had 10 years of experience in the same field. When we attended the first phase of the interview, I underrated myself, but I gave what I have. I discovered that we were both invited for the second phase of the interview. By the time we went for the second phase of the interview, I defeated the guy to become the candidate for that position. What am I trying to point out here? Not by qualification, it's by what you can offer. My previous experience from other fields spoke for me on that interview, I guess. So you can be the next person. For us to understand details on that, I would like us to understand or pay close attention to the following. Number one, understanding the employer mindset. When we are talking about understanding the employer mindset in an interview, what are we looking at? Employer has centered their question around these three key areas. Area number one is competence. Area number two is commitment. Then area number three is culture fit. I want you to take note of this. There are so many other questions surrounding these three areas. I will not be able to state them all in detail on this video, but for the sake of this topic today, I'm going to generalize the the question and the answer to this area so that we have it at the back of our mind, and in subsequent video I will be able to detail all the questions and the answers for us to learn better. Now back to these three key areas the employer is looking for each time we attend an interview. Area of competence number one. You will hear questions like, can you do the job? In this aspect, employer wants a proof that you have the knowledge, skill, experience, and problem-solving ability required for the role. Then point number two, which is commitment. You will hear questions like, will you deliver consistently? At this point, employer want people who are reliable, responsible, disciplined, and self-motivated. Take note. Then point number three, which is culture fit. Culture fit, you will hear like a question like, can we work with you? In this area, employer assess whether you have behavior, ability, and personality aligned with the organization, environment, and the value. In summary to that, what you need to note is that your goal is to answer those questions clearly, whether you are being asked directly or not. Make sure you give them what they are looking for. Then you will be the right candidate. Then the next point we are considering today is shifting from job seeker to problem solving. Shifting from job seeker to problem solving. Most candidates attend an interview with this mindset: I need the job. Why the winning candidates attend an interview with the mindset of how I can help the organization succeed with these practical strategies. Number 1, study the job description. Number 2, identify 2 to 3 key problems the role is meant to solve. Then the prepare answer that show how they can solve those problems. So from the look of things, who will you pick if you are an interviewer? That is exactly what happened in some of the interview. So you need to take note of that strongly. Then point number 3 is crafting your value proposition. Your value proposition is your unique selling point. Let me give you a formula for that. Skill plus experience plus the result give you the value. For instance, let us look at this as an instance. As a customer care representative in an interview, this is what you need to say. I have strong customer service skill. Answering question like that is 0. What you are expected is I improve customer care satisfaction by certain percentage. Make sure you mention a certain percentage through effective communication and problem resolution. That is the correct way to answer such question. Am I communicating? So it's just as simple as that. Then point number 4 is answering question with impact. The PAL model. Use a structured approach. In using a structured approach, here is how you present it, which I call the PAL model. P stands for problem. What was the situation? A stands for action. What did you do about it? Then R stands for result. What was the outcome from your action? In this, I would like to tell you a story of what I did and exactly what I used to defeat the other guy when the problem come to an organization. I was a principal of a certain college in Ogun State. As a new principal, I inherited violence between parents and the teachers in the school. When I was teaching in the school before I was appointed as the principal, there used to be quarrel between the teachers and the parents almost every week. And when I came in, I noticed that, and that was the first area I wanted to strengthen to ensure stability before I progress. What do I do in the situation? There was an incident between a student called Deji and one of my teacher. Then when the mother of Deji came to quarrel the teacher, I was invited. Then I met with the mother. I asked a simple question. What is your purpose of your child in this school? Is to learn and also to behave well. Is that not what you want? She said yes. I said, okay, now where is your child? She said he's on his way coming. I said, no problem. Let us wait for him. On Deji's arrival in the reception office, I noticed Deji was not putting his clothes properly. What do? I told Deji to step out. Then I told the mother, I want to give you a clear illustration of what has been happening in this school, and you will tell me the outcome. Then I tell Deji to come in again. I tell Deji, put in your clothes without even using a cane. In first place, Deji was looking at me. Then in response, I pick a cane to beat Deji. Immediately when I used a cane, Deji rushly put himself in a good condition. Then he went into the class. Then I told him to go. Then after Deji left, I asked the mother, look at the scenario. If a teacher corrects a student with ordinary mouth or instruction, and the student do not pay close attention, and the teacher use the cane to correct the student, is anything wrong at that? Look at the scenario right before you. What has happened? Then Deji's mother told me that, okay, you know the best for these students. Continue to do that for them. And from that moment until I resigned as a principal, there was no problem or violence between the teacher and the parent until I left. Now let us analyze the illustration in relating to the power model. Now in the power model, what was the problem in that situation I narrated? Deji, or the violence in that school, was the problem I inherited. Then what was the action when it happened again, when I was the principal? The action was the practical correction of Deji in presence of his mother that came to fight as usual, the way they used to do before I inherited the situation. And what was the outcome or the result from the illustration? The result is I was able to address that problem right before the parent without the fear of the parent or belittle my teacher or the standard of my school. Am I communicating? And that communicate a strong message to the rest of the parents, and until I left or resigned from the principalship in that school, there was no other problem between the parent and any of the teacher. Neither I myself have any problem with any of them, and that led to a tremendous increase of the number of the school before I handed over to a new principal. That is a structured approach in solving problem or answering question with impact. Am I communicating? Then another point we shall be looking at today is strategic first impression and presence. Strategic first impression and presence. Number one thing we shall be considering here is dress appropriately and professionally. 2. Maintain eye contact and confident posture. 3. Speak clearly and avoid filler words. 4th, show excitement and energy when you are talking. Reality check. You need to understand that first impressions are created within the first few minutes of an interview. That is why you need to be careful whenever you attend any interview. Then point number 6 we shall be looking at today is asking intelligent question. Asking intelligent question. That is to say, at the end of the interview, ask questions that showed you came prepared. And also, you are thinking like a contributor. Now, let us take this as an instance. 1. What does success look like in this role within the first 3 months? Second, what are the biggest challenges the team is currently facing? Now, looking at this, the person will know that this person is up to something. You are getting their attention. Then point number 3, point number 7 on this topic, closing like the best candidate. Closing like the best candidate. Don't just end with thank you. Am I communicating? Rather say this. Based on our discussion, I am confident I can contribute meaningfully to your team, especially in a specific area you know that is their problem. I will be excited to bring value or light to that area. Am I communicating? That is exactly how you need to close. Now, our class activities for today will be leaving till when we have our physical class so that we can have a kind of arrangement. Then we will test ourselves for practical experience. In conclusion, you are not competing with others. You are presenting a solution. Just have that at the back of your mind. When you are clearly show how you can solve problem, you don't just attend an interview. You become the only logical choice for that organization to choose. So I would like you to note this point, work on them, practice them. Already you have some skill, some experience. You've already practiced them. Look for a way to digest it in line with what I've taught today and become a champion in any interview you attended. Thank you and God bless you. See you in our next episode.